Today, it's you, it's me, and it's an epic review of the Topo Designs Apex Global Travel Bag 30 liter. I'm not gonna lie, this is a pretty cool travel bag. It's bringing some unique things to the table. But after reviewing 500 bags, let me tell you, no pack is perfect. So in this review, we're gonna pack the bag out, talk about the honest pros and the cons, and you're gonna wanna stick around to the end of the video, because if you're not quite feeling this bag, I'll make a few alternative travel bag recommendations that are similar, but are bringing something new to the table, because here at Nomads Nation, our goal is to help you find the bag that best suits your needs. So let's jump into the review. Let's talk about the gist of the Topo Designs Apex Global Travel Bag 30 liter. Topo Designs is a US-based brand. They're from Utah, and they're known for making really cool, funky travel gear. It's also highly durable and very sustainable. Some of this bag's top features being its incredibly weather-resistant fabrics and materials, the ability to be carried in 3 different modes, a quick-ish access front admin compartment, 2 external water bottle holders, clamshell access to the main compartment, and the ability to stow away the shoulder straps, and I'll show you how that works a couple of sections from now. 2 maybe. Final answer, 2 sections from now. As of recording, the Apex Global Travel Bag comes in 2 color options. The size is 30 liters, which for me, I love. That's my favorite size for a travel bag. It's great for a weekend trip, up to a week, to be honest. I've backpacked for a month on a 22 liter bag before. So it really just depends on how much stuff you bring and how frequently you are willing to do laundry. But on the flip side, 30 liters is a bit strange because it's kind of in between like that maximum carry-on size and the maximum personal item size. So it just depends on how much stuff you want to bring and what airlines you're flying on. Speaking of which, what's super important for the airline you're flying on are the bag's dimensions, of which we're looking at around 21 inches height, just under 15 inches width, and a fully packed out depth of just under 7 inches. It's also important to consider the weight of your travel bag, especially in Europe and Asia where they're literally charging you by the pound these days. Crazy out there. This bag with the shoulder strap included, it's clocking in at 2.9 pounds on scale number 1, and again 2.9 pounds on scale number 2, which is honestly a very impressive liter to weight ratio, considering how many weatherproof fabrics are on this bag, because these fabrics are heavy. So it's actually, by that measurement, a pretty light bag. Nicely done, Topo, nicely done. This is the Topo Designs Apex when it's empty, and this is the bag when it's fully packed out and worn on the Nomads Nation team. For reference, I'm 5'8" and Margaret's 5'2", and we're gonna pack out this bag throughout the entire review so you can see exactly what it fits. All Topo bags are covered by their, and I quote, reasonable lifetime warranty. And the wording of that is, it's not vague, but it's something you might want to read up on if a warranty is important to you. And for all that, the bag runs around $250 US. And if at any point in this review you think to yourself, dude, water resistant, can be carried 3 ways, looks like a clown's trippy nightmare, and you're gonna make a purchase, or you wanna find out more information, we highly recommend that you do so with the first link in the description below. That link makes sure that you get the best price, and we oftentimes have discount codes, especially for Topo Designs. But that link also helps support the Nomads Nation YouTube channel and team so we can keep making the best bag reviews on the web. Thank you very much. Let's talk about the front of the Topo Designs Apex Global Travel Bag 30 liter. That is a mouthful. First of which, let's talk about the aesthetic. And Topo, I think, has an aesthetic that could be described as fun. They don't take themselves too seriously. They like colors, but this is a bag that has fun, but it's also serious. It's like I'm formal, but I also like to party. And what I mean by that is the materials that are being used. See how glossy that primary fabric is? Well, that's a 400D, 100% recycled nylon ripstop with a WFCS coating. Now, I'll be honest, I don't know exactly what a WFCS coating is, but having reviewed hundreds of bags, I can definitely say it's just a finish that gives it a very rubbery and shiny look and feel. And it's designed for weather resistance, right? Because when rain hits this fabric, it's just gonna slide right off. And that is further emphasized by the use of all these YKK PU-coated zippers. But whether it's PU-coated zippers or WFCS coatings, they're all coatings. And coatings have the tendency to peel over time. It's not a guarantee, but it definitely happens often. I can't say for sure whether this fabric will peel, but PU-coated zippers are likely to peel, especially if they get a ton of use and a ton of exposure to the sun. For some people, that trade-off is totally worth the extra weather resistance. For others, it's not, but it's definitely something that you need to keep in mind. Topo's branding, super loud. Gonna be honest, not a fan. It's too big. Shrink your logo, Topo. Now, this bag has a bunch of external lash points. You can see right here, lash point galore, and you got a lash point here at the bottom, and I think at the top as well. And this just allows you to connect things externally to the bag, jacket, sunglasses, perhaps like a small tripod. Get weird with it. Whatever you want to connect, these lash points got you covered. Let's talk about these zippers. Like I said, the coating is PU, but these are chunky zippers. Like, all right, these are YKK 10s, I'm gonna bet. Yep, YKK 10s, and I'm used to seeing YKK 10s for the main compartment, but for every compartment on the bag, including this quick access front compartment, that's some zipper chunkage right there that I am not used to, and I think it's kind of cool. Now, notice that Topo has also included these little zipper pullers right here. And the reason is that YKK PU coated zippers, especially chunky number 10s, are sticky. A little bit harder to open and to close, which for some is a worthy trade-off for the sleek look and the additional weather resistance. But for others, it can be a little cumbersome. But I will admit, I do love these zipper pullers. It's classy, just a nylon string, a little hypalon edge, right? But it just feels good opening and closing the bag. And then in this pocket, you can see we got some space. We got this whole seam right here. And then getting inside, you can see we have 1, 2 zippered pockets and this little chode of a key leash. And I stick by what I said with the word chode. There's chode status for a key leash for sure. And then for the next front compartment, we got this U-shape clamshell style, which leads into here. Now, let me say, I like this bag. I like it a lot. Not quite my style, but like I respect what it's doing, but I don't like the choice of the black lining. Now, one good thing about black lining is it does hide dirt, right? So if this gets dirty with the black, you ain't gonna see it. But it kind of makes it a black hole in there, like when it's, you're in the airplane and something to see in front of you and you're trying to like grab something, it's hard to know what you put where. So that's why I typically like bags that have a high vis lining. Just give me a gray, give me an orange, don't give me black. Bit of a con for me. In this compartment, we have 1, 2 lining sleeves, and a zipper pocket at the top that runs all the way to the bottom. Let's pack these compartments out, shall we? Now, for these compartments, I'm gonna throw things that I want quicker access to, smaller things too, right? Like the big things go in the main compartment, smaller things that you want quicker access to, we gonna pop here. I'm gonna throw my keys on the leash. Zipper pockets here, a little tight, good spot for a wallet and or passport. I'm gonna go ahead and throw a pen in the other pocket there. Not gonna lie, those pockets, these zipper pockets, they're hard to get to. Don't love them, but the pocket does have a bit of expansion to it, so if you wanna fit something a bit bulkier, go ahead and put a book in there. And then clamshell, open this bad boy up. The 2 lining pockets, I'm gonna stick my travel adapter in that one. I'll throw a bunch of health stuff in the other pocket, gum, tissues, Panadol, chapstick, all going in there. Then in the larger zippered pocket, let's throw my over-the-ear chunky headphones from Sony. Very nice. Good fit. AirPods. Now here's what's interesting, because I'm like, AirPods, where do they go? And I'm like, I want to put them here, but this side of the pocket doesn't have any other pockets. I could have like a little zipper pocket there. So my AirPods are gonna go in here, I guess. Tote bag, not making the cut. And then just to showcase the volume, I got my Unbound Merino sweater here. Best travel hoodies in the game because they pack down. So if you have a bulkier sweater, it might not fit, but as you can see, I assume with the Unbound, it definitely fits in the bag. I like this compartment. You got extra volume, very functional, quick access, overall, very nicely executed. Could use a few more pockets and a lighter lining, but that aside, definitely nice. But will the middle of the bag be as good for me? I don't know, let's find out. Let's move on and talk about the middle of the Topo Designs Apex Global Travel Bag 30 liter. Now we got 2 external water bottle holders. And I'm not gonna lie, these feel like they're not gonna be that tall. What is your height, bro? Okay, it's like 6.5 inches, but it's a little tapered at the bottom. So I got a couple water bottle holders. We're gonna test out how they fit when the bag is fully packed out. But before we do that, we've got side handles, one on either side. These side handles are great on one end because it's in line with the overall weather resistance of the bag. Some side handles are maybe like a cloth at the bottom, so if it rains, they're just gonna get all squishy and gross and like soggy. But these will not do that. Very weather resistant, very sleek. But on the flip side, they're not a comfy carry, which is not a big deal because you're probably not gonna be carrying a 30 liter travel bag like this for very long, but if you wanted to, it might be a deal breaker to know like this, it doesn't feel great. This plastic kind of cuts through the hands, there's no padding. Pros and cons. And same thing with the top handle. Now to get into that main compartment, again, we have clamshell style square opening. And I really mentioned the silhouette, closed, I'm not ready yet, is the bag was of a very square-like shape, which is cool for that 3-way carry, right? If you wanna go into backpack mode or briefcase mode or duffel mode. And these additional corners are gonna give you extra packing space, but opening it, it's gonna be a little cornery sometimes. You're not just gonna be able to do the smooth zip opening, especially with the YKK PU coated chunky zippers. It's just a bit more cumbersome to get into that compartment, but not a deal breaker for me by any means. Love the clamshell opening, very easy. We get full access. We're not pinching at the bottom here. Something I've been noticing on a lot of bags recently that's quite annoying. Shoulder strap, we're gonna talk about this guy in a moment. Let's talk about this bag. Now in the main compartment, I love this. No additional organization happening here. I don't need pockets and zippers and stuff. I just need a spot to put my packing cubes, which Topo recognizes. And then on the flip side, we do have a couple zippered mesh pockets, giving you a bit more organization. Time to pack the bag out. Now for a 30-liter travel bag, like I said, you're not gonna fit months and months worth of stuff. Like you're gonna have to do some laundry. But I'm telling you, like, give it a shot if you haven't already. Like 30 liters for me is just perfect for travel. So I'm gonna throw my air packing cube at the bottom. This is the large one. I got an air packing cube small here. You can see absolutely perfect fit. My JSD Bombas Tech pouch going to the top. Then I got a shoe bag here as well. You can see black on black on black on black. It's hard to see what is where, but in essence, this is a week's plus worth of clothes and tech stuff and DOP kit stuff. I actually don't have a DOP kit in there, but you can replace that with the shoes, right? And then in the zippered pockets here, let's try a hard drive and my compressible tote from Peak Design, which I have been digging recently. And I don't know if this is gonna close. Let's find out. I think it will. We have potential. Remember, I really packed out the front compartment with that hoodie, but Topo has in fact, oh yeah, we're totally good to go. Making me work for it a bit, but what's nice is when you do overpack a bag that has big old zippers like this, the zippers are not gonna break on you, right? I mean, these zippers are built to handle big effing loads. Now let's test out these water bottle holders. I got a 24-ounce Columbia. It's tight. It is tight for sure, but we're definitely gonna get that in there. You can see, very secure. We got a little bit of elasticity here and here to give the water bottle holder some expansion, but I do not think the 1 liter Yeti is gonna fit. Nope, I'm not even gonna try. I will break a finger. We're not doing that. But the good news is that these pockets can hold many things. For instance, a very expensive umbrella from 7-Eleven fits in there. And now we are ready for our week-long trip. One last note in the middle is this is not the greatest self-standing bag. And the reason is the bottom of it is actually quite thin. A lot of bags you might have like a tapering as where the top is smaller, the bottom is wider. And then with this compartment too, the more packed out it is, the more front heavy it's gonna be. The bottom's flat, so if you pack it out right, it will self-stand, but it's not the best self-standing travel bag I've ever reviewed. Whew, I know, travel bags, there's a lot. But if you're still watching this, there's a good chance that you're like, dude, there's a lot. And I want more. We're gonna get more of this. I love travel bags and travel gear. Well, if that's the case for you, I'd like to tell you that here at Nomads Nation, we don't just do travel bag and backpack and everyday carry reviews on our YouTube channel, but we also have something called the Nomads Nation newsletter. And in that newsletter, you can look at me as like your reporter in the field, where I'm like on the front lines, telling you what the coolest things are that are happening in the world of travel and everyday carry gear. So if you want to keep up to date with the newest releases, the coolest collaborations, a bit of industry gossip, and have access to all of our exclusive discount codes and giveaways, you're going to want to sign up to the Nomads Nation newsletter, which you can do by finding this globe emoji in the description below. I hope to see you in your inbox. All right, let's talk about the back of the Topo Designs Apex Global Travel Bag 30 liter. Let's start with the tech compartment, which is a side tech compartment right here. Now, I go back and forth on whether I like side access laptops. Margaret, what's your position on side access tech these days? You like it or no? She does. Okay, so we have a fan with Margaret. And I used to really love it, and then I was like, I don't know. I go back and forth because the good news is that it's very protective. And you can see right here, you zip it on closed. My 13-inch MacBook Pro fits very nicely. And it gives you a really nice false bottom. Like this is like, oh my God, the laptop stops right here, dude. But one annoying thing about side access laptop compartments, so sometimes they're a bit more difficult to access. Just kind of depends on how the bag is orientated, final answer, on your suitcase. We'll talk about that in a second. Okay, I'm pushing the laptop down though. This actually doesn't have the greatest false bottom now that I'm really digging into it. Kind of depends on where the laptop sits on the bag. And I will say, now that I'm really sinking my teeth into this, when the bag is fully packed out, I don't feel great about this laptop compartment. There's not a lot of structure happening in the back panel, which I think is how Topo enabled this bag to stay so light. Because oftentimes a back panel is where a lot of the weight will be in terms of padding and 3D molding and like, you know, the shoulder straps. But this is just like, this is not that. You see, I'm trying to fit a 16-inch MacBook Pro cutout in this compartment, and we are not, are we gonna get in there? Maybe. I mean, I guess it's physically possible. But long story short, with this tech compartment is it gets the job done, but if you are looking for a travel bag with an exceptional laptop compartment, I would say this is definitely not it. But if you're looking for the basics, 13 or 14-inch laptop, throw it in there, I think it'll be okay. But that can also be an advantage because this laptop compartment is so out of the way and it's not taking up any space. So if you are looking for a travel bag that doesn't have a laptop compartment, this is actually a really good pick. Now let's talk about that luggage pass-through holder, which is in fact a sideways one, which I think really works with the design of this bag, but I don't know how well it's gonna slide on. Let's try. So it's a little bit tight, and I got that laptop in there as well. So keep in mind, if you're really packing this bag out, okay, yep, I get it. It's gonna be a very, very hard sell or fit, but I suspect the second that we remove this laptop, it's gonna slide effortlessly on. And again, that's gonna be the design of the back panel, is where there's no structure really. Yep. In the back panel. So when the laptop was in there was no structure telling the laptop what to do. And the laptop's like, NRK, I'm gonna go wherever I want. So fully packed out, plus laptop, plus luggage pass through equals But if we're willing to take the laptop out and fully pack the bag out, nice. Got the sideways access, and this works well. This is very nice, actually. The square-like shape helps it to sit on the suitcase very well. Quick access to the compartments that you need access to. Now let's talk about comfort. Now, while this bag could be carried in 3 different modes, I'll be honest, you should probably be carrying it in backpack mode 90% of the time. And the reason is, backpack mode is just gonna be more comfortable. And plus, we have load lifters at the top, a sternum strap in the middle, and a very small but semi-effective waist strap at the bottom. And when these 3 things combine, you got the top load lifters, the middle sternum strap, the bottom hip belts. It creates a pretty comfortable backpack wearing experience. This is not the world's best sternum strap, waist strap. Getting my straps confused. You can see right here, I'm 5'8". I don't have the tallest torso. And the sternum, I keep saying that. The waist strap is riding up to about belly button. So it's less of a waist strap and more like a belly button strap. It's literally at belly button length. My BB is right there. But if you're looking for an additional way to secure the bag, this will, will help. But the sternum strap is fantastic. Again, reducing weight on the lower back, bringing it to the front. And same thing with these load lifters. Those are very nice. So because of these 3 elements, I recommend wearing the bag in backpack mode more often. Shoulder straps are, they're okay. They're a little dense. They're not the squishiest, but they're not the most dense. They're sort of in the middle. Overall, I'm not gonna say it's the most comfortable travel bag I've ever worn, but it's not the least comfortable either. And what's nice on the waist belt is we do have these dangle stoppers right here, which are keeping this little guy happy. Let's say you're like, Aaron, screw you, and your advice of wearing this in backpack mode 90% of the time. I wanna wear it in duffel mode. Well, let's talk about that. So these shoulder straps are in fact unclippable. I always hate these G-hooks. There are a bitch to do, but you'll get them. It just takes a little finagling. I'll get it. I'm coming for you. Oh, you believe me, Joshua. Got it, okay. And you can see we got this little sleeve right here where you can go ahead and stow the shoulder straps pretty cleanly. Now, this is great for a couple of reasons. Number one, if you wanna go into duffel mode, this makes a more clean carrying way, just less dangle, making this little guy absolutely happy. He's been holding that sign up for years. I wonder if his little arms are getting tired. And also, when you want to put the bag underneath the seat in front of you or in the bin overhead, again, less dangle, again, making him happy. With the messenger / duffel mode, you just go ahead and clip on the shoulder strap right here. And then right here. I like how we have the attachment points at either side of the frame. Gives it a bit better balance. Okay, and now that I'm wearing it in shoulder strap mode, I'm gonna admit, it's actually not that bad. You're gonna be doing a bit of the duffel pimp walk, But because of its square-like shape, it actually works in this mode a lot better than other travel bags that are backpacks. So they just throw these on and hey, you can carry it in duffel mode. And it's yeah, but you shouldn't. This one you should, and you could. This is great if you are, about to get onto your airplane, right? You're about to give them your ticket and then do the line and then put the bag, sometimes this is better than this, just less dangle happening, easier to slide over top. So overall, I think it's actually a pretty solid shoulder strap duffel mode bag to consider. Words. And one last note about the waist belt is, again, it is removable with these G-hooks, but I'm not dealing with any more G-hooks today. Just take my word for it. Not touching those. All right, let's wrap up this review by talking about the overall pros and the cons of the Topo Apex Global Travel Bag. Pro number 1 is that it's versatile in its carrying options. Pro number 2, highly weather resistant. And pro number 3 is the square-like shape, means that when you're carrying it in shoulder mode, it actually works pretty darn well. But on the flip side, let's talk about the cons. Con number one is just questions about the fabrics and the coatings and whether or not these will end up peeling. Con number two is the interior lining is a bit dark for my taste. And con number three, I wasn't quite sold on the tech protection of this laptop compartment. But I'm not gonna lie. If you're still here watching this video, and I assume we're at about 19 minutes at this point, there's a good chance that you are debating making a purchase or just finding out more information from the Topo Designs website. And if that is the case, just a gentle reminder that we do recommend you do so using the first link in the description below, just because it'll make sure you get the best price. And we oftentimes have discount codes, especially for Topo. So I don't want you to miss out on that. First link below. Thank you very much. But if you're not quite sold, let's talk about a couple of alternative options that might better suit your needs. Alternative recommendation number one is going to be the Cotopaxi Allpa. Great option for you if you like Topo's colorful designs, but you want a bit more of a traditional type travel bag. You don't need all the different carrying options. Still a great US brand, just a little bit different in terms of their execution. And alternative number two is going to be the Tortuga travel backpack Lite. And it's a great option for you if you're looking for significantly better tech protection in your travel bag. It's a bit of a departure. It's not gonna be as colorful, but it's gonna be more comfortable in my opinion, give you a bit better materials and a better lining and better tech protection. Not gonna lie, all three travel bags are great for their own things. You just gotta figure out which thing is best for you. And to learn more about the two alternatives to see if they're a better fit for you, you can just go ahead and watch these videos right here. If you got any questions about any bags, be sure to let me know in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching. My name is Aaron. This is Nomads Nation, and we'll catch you next time.